Hello, everybody, and welcome to the brand new what do we call this? Brand new sidecast.
Yeah, why not?
Sidecast, Star Wars and Coffee, where we just talk Star Wars. Today, obviously, I'm joined by Adam as usual, and we've got a little guest, Mr. Ant Shot First. Hello, Anthony.
Yo, how's it going? I'm a rusty podcaster, so give me time.
No, it comes back. It's like riding a bike, and it's like riding a bike. You'll be fine.
I wouldn't fancy my chance on one of them at the minute either.
To be fair, I get you. I think I'd fall off straight away. But yeah, Ant's done plenty of podcasts back in day. Yes.
Yeah, I've had like a year off because I had a bunch of shit going on, but yeah, getting back into it now.
And he's a massive Star Wars fan. Adam's a massive Star Wars fan. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. We talk way too much Star Wars on the main podcast. So what not better to just kind of separate Star Wars and put it on its own thing, like a short 20-minute, half-hour show where we just talk Star Wars. And what better that Mando started to kick it off with? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's
such a good way to start.
It's the stars have aligned, would I say? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
They've all aligned. Did the stars align in Mandalorian though? For everybody here.
Oh.
Did they? What? I think it's hard because there's only one episode.
Yeah, you can't go off of it just because of this first episode. Like it's.
You boys not so keen on it then?
I mean, I didn't mind it. I've just seen like so much hate around it. It's like it's the first episode that like you can't expect anything much to happen. You've got to let it get it swing and get it going.
See,
I don't really see this shit anymore. The hate and stuff. So I just go off like a few close mates on my own thing. So yeah, I didn't know people weren't liking it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent like reintroduction to stuff, and it was like a little bit of everything. We had a big space crocodile turtle thing at the start. You have a bit of a space battle. Yeah, just a few tropes, but yeah. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I did. I'm opposite to Adam in the fact that you have to let it play out. I think you go with a bigger bang for your season opener, personally.
Yeah.
But as an episode in whole, it did enough to go. Like to keep you intrigued, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's just that we've been spoiled with other shows like Andor released 3 episodes when it first launched, and Obi-Wan had 2, and it was like, were we expecting that? And then because we all had this conversation about it being 36 minutes long, but then I mean it were Ant that pointed out to me that season 1 were only 36 minutes episode long. Do you know what I mean? So are we just spoiled?
Don't you think this episode felt a lot like the first episode of season 1?
Yes, I agree.
He goes to a place, like a bunch of bandit/pirate people like confront him. A big sea creature thing sort of stops them in their tracks. He stops it. Like you get a lot of the same stuff as the first episode. And I don't think that's by accident. I think that's by design, that they want to sort of reset you to, right, Mando's back. This is that feeling again, and it's not like Andor. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not Andor. I think that's what they were going for. Like this is I think they're trying to set up that this is a different Star Wars again, and like they did with Andor, that they went, this is not the Star Wars that you're used to having. Do you know what I mean? This is a completely different Star Wars.
Andor was like an espionage thriller. This is like a serialized space western thing, isn't it? Like, exactly. It's a little adventure every week we're gonna get.
I really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. I think, again, like I say, we've been spoiled and I just wanted more from selfish reasons. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I want 12 episodes. And I don't know if stuff like Stranger Things and things like that have put that binge mentality into you of, when a TV show drops and you're just like, I want to watch all 12 episodes there and then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The only issue you get with that is then we wouldn't be doing this.
No.
That's the only thing you miss, don't you? Is you watch everybody talk about it, you talk about it yourself. Like, I think that's the advantage of week to week.
You can do something like this where you can sit down with your mates, and whether it be on a podcast, whether it be at work or in your living room, you can sit down and every week you can have that conversation with your friend, and you can theorize where it's going and what's going to happen. And that's the best part of TV for me. Like that all started for me with Lost back in the day. Like fucking That's how I got into shout out to Lost, but that's how I got into podcasts and shit like that. Like I went deep with Lost, do you know what I mean? And that's how I found this world. So it's like I
don't care what anybody says. Lost ending's still good. Don't give a fuck.
I would agree with that. I genuinely would agree with that. Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Oh, they were all hallucinating. They were all just smoking weed for fucking 9 seasons.
The worst part of it would have been, it all really happened. That would have been the least believable.
There actually is a polar bear on a fucking desert island and black smoke that fucking, mental. But yeah, it's like, this is the best part of it for me. As much as having, and I think some shows are good to binge, like a Stranger Things. Like, can you imagine having a Stranger Things every week? Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a bit different. Do you get what I mean? Like it's meant to be binged, if that makes sense.
For me, I get the differences in why these companies do it with their IPs and stuff, but I still haven't put my finger on personally why I like one or the other. I don't think I've got a preference. You know, if you told me Mando was all out now, I'd just sort of go with that. Oh, I get it all. But then if it's not, like we said, we get this week to week. And
yeah, I would agree with that, because I still get excited when it goes, oh, you can binge it all.
Yeah.
And I'm still excited that I've got something to watch every week as well. So it's one of them.
You're in the city, Carl. You love a show to watch while you're having your tea.
I do love it.
This works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I hate not having something to watch when I'm. You know, when you just like I can sit here with my tea in this exact spot, and my tea will go cold because I'm searching for something to watch.
Yeah.
So at least I know on a Wednesday when I get home from work, Mando is there ready. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I can go downstairs, I can make my tea, come up, sit down, Mando's on, bosh. And that's the most beautiful, blissful place I could ever be in my life.
We're probably going to jump around all over the place here, aren't we? But what did you boys think to Space Davy Jones, gory and sharp?
I really don't know. It looked like a hot piece of trash. Like
he looked like a dancing seaweed, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. It just looked so bizarre, and I thought, for some reason, I thought we'd seen his whatever species he was. Like, I thought we'd seen him before, so I was going mental all over like Wikipedia, Google, literally trying to find it, and he's literally just a brand new species that's.
Hey, that's good though, and I agree with everything you say about it looking shit, but most of them look shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
they're always some wild design, aren't they?
Yeah,
exactly. And the thing
I mean, how do you make a seaweed man look real? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard to do that. But the thing is, though, with stuff that looks shit, it gets better with time. So it's that character will be, basically, in my opinion, he's going to be like the Hondo of the world. Like, he will get better as the days go on. People will be like, oh, he looks shit now. But then when you look back and they've they've introduced him in other shows and stuff like that, and he becomes more like Hondo. That's obviously if they go down that route. Yeah, he's gonna get like a fine wine, and he's gonna get better over time.
Yeah, we've only seen like a short second.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Exactly. The pirates looked really good.
I love them.
I love the pirates. I genuinely thought the pirate that was his name Vance or something like that.
The lead one.
Vaughn. Yeah. I thought he was Hondo. You know, when it like pans behind him, I was like, "Oh fuck, it's Hondo," and then it weren't.
Well, I shit myself when that popped up because I'd text Carl that morning. I don't usually do like theories, predictions, and stuff, but one thing I definitely think they're going to do, they're going to go to Galaxy's Edge, I think, in Mando. And then that showed up, and Beth turned around to me, my wife turned around to me, she was like, you fucking spoilt this. I was like, it's not Hondo. I didn't know anything. I just guessed.
And we're like, I've spoiled it for Carl.
Yeah, I thought I'd spoiled something, but I genuinely texted you before it happened, and then I was like, oh shit. Is that Hondo?
And balls. To be fair, I didn't say my balls had been in my stomach like, Ant's going to kill me.
But no, I've just got a feeling they're going to. He's in Galaxy's Edge. He's in Bato now, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
And the whole thing with that place is that everything that happens there is canon, which means at some point Din has to have been, or he's going to be, in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, because he got introduced into Bato East. think it was Wednesday, actually, funny enough. I think when it was when the first episode of Mando got released. So yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't think all that's by accident.
No, they've definitely done that on purpose. So we will end up seeing him go to Galaxy's Edge, like you say, and I think we will.
The only thing is if it is all canon at the same time, Galaxy's Edge, which apparently it is, like they've always said this, haven't they? Yeah. Then he's on Batuu while the First Order are there. Yes. So it's either going to be that he's going there again, so he's going to go there in Mando, say, next season, and then he just eventually goes there again. Yeah. But it's also kind of a big spoiler thing that he's there with Grogu while the First Order are there, which is way in the future.
Yeah, that's the...
So they're either going to have to turn around and go, oh, Galaxy's Edge isn't actually canon all the time, or they're going to go, oh yeah, shit, he's still Mando, he's still with Grogu, right up until when the First Order arrive. And Kylo Ren.
So do you think then that would make sense because they've also got Boba and Fennec as well?
Yeah, exactly. And they've also said, well, they could show up at I don't know how Galaxy's Edge works as a timeline. Like I said, I don't know if it's a flat thing where anyone can show up on any day, and then that's just a story told from a different time. It's obviously not current time, is it?
Yeah.
But also, align that with the fact that Favreau just came out and said he has no plans to end it. That then makes me think, well, how far are we going here with Mando?
Yeah,
we can go right up until the... I don't know.
Do you think Mando eventually introduces the First Order and shit like that? Is that how?
I think it'd be cool.
I think
that's the best way to do it, and it brings more context to the.
We had the episode in season 2, didn't we, where they found the Snokes in the jars again?
Yes. Yeah.
So they're slowly putting sequel stuff in there.
Well, I said this to Adam the other day. I was like, especially what's going on in Bad Batch at the moment as well with all the cloning stuff. It seems to be that we're trying to make sense,
amalgamate all trilogies.
Yeah, of Snoke and the cloning of Palpatine. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've gone, we need to fix this.
Yeah.
Because everyone's problem was, we've cloned Emperor Palpatine kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Think Favreau's he's a very specific man with how he does stuff, and he did a lot of legwork for the prequels in the Clone Wars and fixed a lot of things from that people didn't like. I think we're going to get a lot of that done over sort of the course of Mando, and all the other live action shows are going to make you appreciate the sequels more over time.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Make them better. He'll make them more integrated with things like, why is this guy at this? But they'll show you. I think they'll show you that.
Well, I hope they do, and I hope we get to see this. I hope we get to see the stuff from comics, of Kylo, actually. Little Ben, where he fights the fucking what's it called? The fucking what are they called? Knights of Ren. Do you know what I mean? And you get to see all that because that comics. I've not read it, but apparently it's incredible. I actually saw a TikTok of it this morning. And it's supposed to be really good.
Read that one. I think I read most of the big comics.
Where Luke and Kylo go to. They fight the Knights of Ren, and then later on, when he leaves the Jedi Order, when he's been fucking thinking by Snoke, he actually goes back to him and he kills leader, and then he becomes the leader of the blah blah blah. Yeah. But apparently, it's really good. So I'd love to see that actually on TV.
I think we're going to get some big crossover. So people liked it in season 2, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Filoni likes doing I remember him coming out a while ago saying that he wants to tie things up and make it obviously a lot neater, like the timeline, because obviously everyone. Because I know he had something to do with Rise of Skywalker anyway, so I know that he's got some form of influence, and I think Filoni has a vision in his head. He'll go to Favreau, and they'll both work it out together, and then they'll sort of basically slowly, say, drip feeders, little sequel stuff into maybe not every episode, but every so often. Until eventually we start thinking, you know what, the sequels were actually pretty decent.
Obviously, talking about that, they put the little Babu Fricks in it, didn't they?
Mate. That were heavy. That's the first time you've seen them since then, and they were best part about fucking Rise of Skywalker.
Anzalons,
I think they're clever enough to not force it, but clever enough to just be drip feed at you. Because like you say, it's what they did with prequels. It's like everybody hated the prequels. Do you know what I mean?
You now think about the prequels with all the context of Clone Wars and Bad
and they're amazing.
And games that have come out and everything. And when you watch those now, you think, this is this character, Anakin, that I know.
Yeah.
But when you watched him when he was first on there, you didn't get all that context. You didn't understand who he was in any way near the same amount as you do after the shows. Another connection though. How many different creatures we got in this is insane. But did you see the Purgil flying through space?
Oh my god!
Yes,
incredible. The silhouettes.
They're the things that showed up
at the end of Rebels.
At the end of Rebels, yeah.
When they took,
that shot wasn't like a matter of fact shot either. No, they really got those, didn't they?
We're gonna end up seeing something to do with Thrawn. I'm telling you.
Well, I think those were shown as more of a. You'll see more of this in Ahsoka. Not
I thought that when I saw that ties to Ahsoka so hard. It does like insanely hard. And it made me smile so much because you all know how much I'm fucking hyped for Ahsoka. But I saw that and all like that. It's to just put that in there and then have no context in any other way. But that tells a lot of people like this is what's going to happen. And if you know, you know. Do you know what I mean? If not, it's pretty to look at. Do you know what I mean? For the average Star Wars, like my brother come round the other day and he was like, I finally watched Mandalorian. It's fucking incredible. But he don't he don't love Star Wars, so he looks at that and goes, "Oh, it's just some space whales." Do you know what I mean? But for us, we go, "Fucking hell!" Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly,
but for them, it's pretty to look at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty
what you
of
just
it.
Said then, Carl, about sort of average fans watching it. That's the biggest problem I've got with this start to this is something that I didn't even think about that much, but is they resolved the biggest plot point of season 2 of Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, say your brother. He's watching Mando, and he goes through and he goes, Carl, I've just hit episode 1 of season 3 of Mando. How the fuck did he get Baby Yoda back? Because he doesn't know to watch all these other shows, does he?
No, he doesn't.
That seems so not. I get it. That's just modern TV. You tie stuff in, you do all this, but that definitely didn't seem planned. It definitely seemed like we were going to get something different here, and they changed their mind and had to bring Grogu back in the middle of a different show.
I agree with that because. It seems so.
Quote was that he said it allowed me to continue the story. Well, that's what you were doing.
Yeah. Why is that not? Why is that episode? You know where he goes and chops the fucking guy in half. Drops Grogu off to Luke. Why is that not episode 1 of Mando season 3?
Yeah, they obviously changed plan here, I think. But then I thought, oh, are we getting less Mando? But then he comes out with the quote that he doesn't know when it's going to end. So we kind of, I'm not complaining at this, by the way. The little bit of him doing the thing of Boba Fett is a bit like, that's not good. Because I thought these guys had it figured out and planned.
Yeah,
so,
I do.
I don't know.
I would agree. As much as I liked it in Boba Fett, I liked it and loved it in Boba Fett, but it does seem disconjointed from Boba Fett. It's like, you get all this Boba Fett stuff and it's like, yeah, here's 2 episodes of Mandalorian.
And like, and they were good episodes. Don't get me wrong; they were great episodes. But they also undermined the show that they were in.
It's like we're trying to push you Boba Fett, but it doesn't seem to be the one that can carry a show. The 2 best episodes of the season are the Mando episodes. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? And it's like
they always had this thing like with Abrams, didn't they? Where they said you can't bring Luke on screen straight away in The Force Awakens because then all everybody wants to see is Luke. You wouldn't believe this, but when Mando came along, the first episode, everybody said, "Oh, I just wanted a Boba Fett show. Who's this?" Then we got to Boba Fett, and we're like, "Bring Mando back. We don't fucking care about Boba Fett."
Like it's like he's gone. Like we've gone. Fucking Boba Fett's incredible. No, Mando's better. Do you know what I mean? But that shows you as well that there are characters that you don't have to keep returning back to these old school characters, that we can make new characters that we love.
Yeah.
Like when we all first when they announced a Mandalorian, I was like, where do we go with this? Do you know what I mean?
Can you remember people saying it was Boba Fett for ages?
I remember that, and I like. Have you seen Boba Fett? That's not Boba Fett's armor. I mean, the closest you get, I thought it may go when you just saw images, was maybe a young Jango Fett.
Yeah, we were getting some crazy predictions.
But then when they announced that it were going to be Boba Fett after Return of Jedi, I'm like, where the fuck do we go with this? What Mandalorian do we do after Return of Jedi? Do you know what I mean? And then it turns out you absolutely fucking love it. So,
just going back to this episode of Mando as well, if I've got a criticism, it's that we're back in Side Quest City again, aren't we? He's literally goes to a guy to get some information from Navarro about something, doesn't he? Then finds IG-11, decides he wants to rebuild him, which, by the way, that thing was in fucking pieces. A bomb went off on its chest. There was nothing left for that guy, and now they've got a statue of him. Like, I'd be asking for the receipt there. That's not the same thing. They've just got a different one, haven't they?
Yeah.
They literally just pulled a second fucking IG-12 this.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Surely you can use any other droid for this mission. But then they go to him and they're like, right, we've got to fix him. But to fix him, Mando, we need to go get... And then you go somewhere else and you go to the Babu Fricks. And then from the Babu Fricks, they need to go get this other part. And it's like, right, where... And I can't remember from the end of the episode. They've got to go to another planet now to get something else, haven't they?
To get his memory chip.
Yeah, so now we're on... Yeah.
It's like the whole... I don't know if you've ever seen Only Fools and Horses, but it's like the whole Trigger and his broom kind of thing. Like,
we're going to get to this planet. He's going to go, can I have that memory chip? You can, but only if you kill the beast of the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, God.
And then when he finally get all these parts, it's that many new parts, so it's not the same fucking robot anymore.
Yeah, you may as well just,
Again, it's like Trigger and his broom. It's the same broom. I've had the same broom for 12 years, but it's had 5 different heads and 6 different sticks. Well, it's not the same broom then, is it, fucking Trigger? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. So I thought that was a bit stupid. I did. And it's like all of a sudden he trusts this droid. Like, what is the difference? Just program another droid exactly the way that you would program this droid.
I don't know what the sort of economic climate's like on Navarro, but I'm sure you can get another IG unit for some Beskar there, easy enough.
100%, yeah, 100%.
That hard to go by.
But so there were some inconsistencies, I think, in this show. So you know the van pirate, whatever his name were, when he gets shot in hand, yeah, and then all of a sudden he's just driving a fucking his starfighter like nothing's happened. Like, man's just been shot in hand, and then he's just going like he's not just been shot in hand. I'm like, bruv, that's got to hurt to some point where you can't close your hand. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's the problem. We as much as they pay attention to a lot of detail, some of it they just go, they just brush by it. So, but I mean,
was he a Nikto, that guy, or? Is it a weak way? There's all they're all in there, aren't they? Maybe they just got strong ass like hands.
Maybe they've got Terminator hands.
Yeah.
They've all just got mechanical hands like Anakin. Where do you think it goes then in overall? Like, do you? I don't know. Do you see? Because I don't get the whole. He wants to redeem himself to the Children of the Watch.
The armor, doesn't he, as well? Yeah.
But then he walks up to Bo-Katan and is like, I want to join you, which are 2 separate factions. So what's his game plan there?
I don't know what Bo-Katan's plan is. I thought we'd be... It doesn't seem like we're going to go to Mandalore straight away.
No.
I think we're going to go to a bunch of different planets before we end up on Mandalore. And maybe... Because it's confirmed that this one is about the wrestling for the King, Queen of Mandalore or whatever, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to end up there soon, because there's all these rumors with the planet's like surface is poisoned, and that's why nobody's gone there. But I think there might already be a civilization there.
Do you think? Do you think there's already Mandalorians there?
Maybe not Mandalorians, but somebody's there, and obviously the word that they've had put out there is that the surface is poisoned, so that everybody stays away, and they can just stay there.
Do what they
Maybe
want to do.
It's Mandalorians. I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys all saw the. Well, I wouldn't know if it were a rumor or whatever, but there was an image that was going around of the domes.
Everybody were fucking kicking off about it.
There was loads of grass on it, and they were saying that it's set way before the Night of the Thousand Tears, and that apparently, even though it was in where Bo-Katan's gauntlet was already. It was in the shot, so it clearly wasn't set like way back. But people were saying it's like Old Republic era that we were gonna get was it pre-Vizsla, or is it Shay Vizsla?
Pre-Vizsla. Shay Vizsla is the one that got the Darksaber from the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, so essentially people were saying that it was like the first Mandalorian that got the Darksaber, and that was a flashback scene to when it was. I don't see how they can incorporate that, because as much as it makes a slight bit of sense, we don't need it. Like we already know how it came about due to Rebels explaining it.
Yeah, but again, we know, but the general Star Wars watcher doesn't. So you have to think of this as like Star Wars at the moment seems to be, as much as it's aimed at us, it's aimed at the general public as well, especially something like Mando. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is, I would say Mando's the flagship Star Wars at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's the one that sells the most. It's the one that, if you were going to pick any to put in a movie theater, it would be Mando. Do you know what I mean? The one that would sell tickets would be Mando.
I don't know about you boys. Obviously, that Adams, you're a lot more sort of versed in the Mando stuff than I am, as in the Mandalorians themselves. Because I don't know about you, I don't find them that interesting. I love Mandalorian, the show, but you know, like the history of Mandalorian, the blah blah Vizsla's fought so Rizzler for the fucking dark side. I'm not arsed.
Fought Rizzler for a pack of unbelief.
Do you know what I mean? I really. I always give it a chance. I remember even when it was in KOTOR and I was playing that, and all of a sudden, like, you've got all these interesting like Sith and Jedi, and then the Mandalorians are here. I've always found it a bit lame that they just went, right, Boba Fett's cool, let's make an army of him. I don't know. So I hope it's not all about that.
See, my favourite era of Star Wars is Old Republic, and it is the Mandalorians versus the Sith and versus the Jedi. Yeah, I love the Mandalorians. The whole creed intrigues me. It does.
See, I was watching. You know when did you say it was the Brotherhood that are there at the start? The younger ones, isn't it?
Yes. Well, the children are watching it.
They're all running around, mate. And if you told me that were a Battlestar Galactica episode, I'd have been like, "Oh yeah, sweet." It's not that they're terrible or anything. Like I'm getting into it.
No,
whenever they show up, it's like if you put these guys in any other sci-fi thing, they would make sense.
Yeah, I get.
So I'm hoping that this season gets me into it, is what I mean. Because the bits that we got in Clone Wars, I wasn't as bothered about. But then the bit at the end of Clone Wars season 7, that's when I was like, oh, if this is what all Mandalore shit's like, I'm in. Like, that was sick.
Yeah.
When it was Maul and Ahsoka and stuff. But again, that was characters I cared about within Mandalore. It wasn't so much.
That's the main problem I think they've had with the Mandalorian stuff, is they've not introduced characters that you really care about. The only characters to do with Mandalore that I've really ever cared about is Mando, Boba Fett, Darth Maul. That's not Mandalorian. He's just come in and took the. So you've never had like none of the Vizslers. I mean, Sabine.
I love Sabine, but she's very much talking about like all the Mandalorian stuff as like something in the background of what she's doing, isn't she? It's like her character built through that.
Bo-Katan's cool and what have you, but.
I like Bo-Katan.
I don't think she had enough in Clone Wars. As much as I love her in Mandalorian, she didn't have enough in Clone. Because all she were in Clone Wars were, my sister used to run Mandalore, I'm gonna take it. Do you know what I mean? She weren't that deep. Do you know what I mean?
And again, the bits in Clone Wars that I liked with that was like Obi-Wan getting involved in it, and the politics there and stuff. That was all interesting. But again, if you just gave me Mandalore and the Mandalorians as like a thing, it'd be a much less interesting show to me.
No, I agree with that.
Got with Djin getting involved.
Like, I think they've missed a trick with, like, you know, when obviously he goes to talk to Bo-Katan in this episode, and she's like, "Oh, they all left. We had tried to do whatever we tried to do. We lost the big fucking Star Destroyer." Why have we not seen that? That's interesting TV to put more context to the Mandalorians and to what's just happened, rather than just walking up to a throne, she sat there sulking. That she's changed her tone, may I add, very quickly. Because last time we saw her, she's kind of like, "Do you want to come and join us Mandalorians? Because we're the good Mandalorians and you're the bad Mandalorians." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Fuck off, Din Djarin, you prick." So,
I don't know.
Weird. I think she may become the actual bad guy of this season. You know.
So I think the
at
reason,
least from our perspective, definitely.
I think the reason why she had the sulk on is because obviously at the end of season 2 we were on the Gideon's Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Obviously, Din got the Darksaber, and she said that that's what she wanted. But obviously, he didn't know the history behind it, and that you had to win it via combat, not literally just gifting it someone. And I think she found it a bit of an insult, the fact that he tried to gift it to her.
Yeah.
Rather than her winning it off of him or whatever.
Well, that's when she needs to step up and stop being a pussy and be like, "Let's have a fight then, Djin." You know what I mean? If you're that hard, Bo-Katan, let's fucking earn it. Stop wanting it to be. Stop wanting to have it be given by Sabine or beating fucking Moff Gideon. You know what I mean?
Say, she had no problem when Sabine just handed it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, in one of the comics, what happens is, I think some of the people left it because they found out that it was gifted.
Yeah.
So part of Clan Kreese basically departed away. And I think that's then when it went, and then I don't know what happens after that because there's nothing like that's been announced media-wise. There's not been any comics, graphic novels, books, anything like that explains it thoroughly.
Yeah.
I don't really know what happens to it once they leave.
The weird thing about this as well is, she hates Death Watch like with a passion, but she used to be in Death Watch.
I think that's because she understood what they actually what they actually stood for.
No, but it's like she's having a go at Djin for being in Death Watch, knowing that Djin doesn't. The way that Death Watch do things are the way that they've done it with Djin and not told him everything about Mandalorian. But she's like, "You fucking part of Death Watch," knowing that he doesn't know fuck all else about everybody else. She knows how it works, so why would you be like, "You're a fucking prick" for doing this, knowing that he doesn't know any other way? All he's doing is going, these people saved me, gave me a life, fed me, housed me, equipped me with fucking... Do you know what I mean? Like, basically, I survived because of these. Why would you... If that were you, why would you not be that? Do you know what I mean? You would. It's not like they've been cruel to him for his whole life. They've not kept him in a cell and fucking... Like, obviously, you can tell by the first episode where they're doing the little ritual with the kid putting his helmet on. They all look happy to be there. It's not like any of them are being fucking shackled up and being forced to do it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if he turned around and went, you know what, this Mandalorian life's not for me, they'd be like, all right, mate, see you in a bit. Do you know what I mean? They won't go put a fucking pistol to his head and be like, no, you're going to be a Mandalorian.
Maybe it's like the Jehovah's. Like if you leave though, you can't talk to the rest of them. So they're like, "Fuck, say I better stay."
Mando just knocking on doors. Mando just knocking on doors. Have you heard about the way of the Mandalorian?
Maybe that's why that kid tried to jump in that space turtle's mouth.
Maybe.
Like, fuck this.
Maybe he were actually trying to get away from it.
Chew me up, crocodile. Let's go.
That fucking Jovos, these lot. Fucking get in. Mental. But yeah, I don't know. It's just...
I was speaking to a couple of mates last night. What do you boys think of this? We were talking about those pirates look like they got quite a bit of money put into them.
Yeah, that shit was massive.
I don't know if you've read the plot of the sort of preview thing for Skeleton Crew. Is that they're being chased through the planet by some pirates, basically.
Ah.
Do you think it's them? Do you think it's them?
It'd be like perfect Star Wars shit if they just planted them in. Mando doesn't see him again, but then you've both teased Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew in the first episode, haven't you?
Because are they not meant to is there not meant to be characters from Mando that ties into them?
Yep.
Yo, that would be sick.
Do you think we actually see him in Mando then?
No, as in they'll be in Skeleton Crew, the pirates.
Yeah, but do you not think that... So, because there's clearly going to be some more adventures with Mando and the pirates.
Crossover. Oh, you mean you think you'll see Skeleton Crew in Mando?
Do you think that's the season finale? Do you reckon... Who is it that's in it? Is it Jude Law?
Yeah, Jude Law's the main.
Do you think Jude Law turns up on season finale?
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Supposedly, the ending is supposed to be exactly the same as the Luke Skywalker one that we got at the end of season 2.
What, bigger than Luke?
No, so it either bigger or exactly the same.
You don't get bigger than Luke. Who's bigger than Luke? Who's bigger than Luke Skywalker turning up in this Star Wars universe?
Mecha Luke Skywalker.
Mecha, Metal Sonic. They just keep changing colour. Orange Luke Skywalker.
Hey, you remember Shadows of the Empire and he's in a red mech suit? That's what they want. That's what these people want, man.
Mecha Luke Skywalker. As I said, Darth Vader's back. He's in a white suit now. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's genuinely the Infinity shit, isn't it?
Yeah, genuinely though, who's bigger than Luke? Like, if you're saying that's an hard one to.
So it was a tweet that I'd seen, and basically they were saying that the ending of this season is supposed to be either bigger than Luke or exactly the same type-wise as
Can
Luke.
you remember when the people in WandaVision said that?
Yeah, and then
they had a Luke Skywalker level cameo. Do you think it's maybe just a bit more of that?
Yeah, because that weren't that Pedro.
Possibly, yeah.
Weren't that
It
the,
was-
that was the time when everyone were going, because they said that and everyone was like, it's Mephisto! And everything was Mephisto. TV's Mephisto. That fucking pineapple's Mephisto. Fucking everyone's Mephisto. And it's all you saw on Twitter. And then it turned out it was fucking Quicksilver from fucking X-Men. That then didn't turn out to be Quicksilver from X-Men. It was just some dude.
I'm trying to think what could be.
The only people I can think of would be Mace Windu.
I don't think it would be though. I think
Mace Windu comes back, I'll be so pissed.
Yeah,
he'd be dead at this point.
Ezra?
Let the man die.
Could be.
Yeah,
Ezra.
someone like that could show up. Yeah, as long as it's somebody that's actually planned in to show up in another show, then I'm all up for it.
Like the only people I can think of would be
Rebels could show up.
Yeah, Rebels.
That'd
Ezra.
be massive.
I think personally, it'd make sense to do this. Someone from the Skeleton Crew. Jude Law's a big name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For him to turn up.
Unless they meant actor-wise,
Yeah.
instead of character.
The only other person I can think of is what's his name, the other Jedi that he gets his name. He falls in love with fucking Ventress. What's his name?
Vinland Quark.
Yeah, Vinland.
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. That's the only person I can think of that's alive. I mean, but is he alive? I know he's alive in Obi-Wan.
Doesn't he die in that book? I'm pretty sure he died in the book that he's in with.
No, because he's alive in Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Because he writes on that wall in Obi-Wan. Because Obi-Wan goes, "Oh, Quinlan was here." So
but doesn't that mean he's been there at some point?
Yeah, but.
Or is it a recent point? I can't remember.
But that's I think it's a recent point because they're on about the fucking the paths where the passageways,
passage, wasn't it?
And obviously the books before the end of Sith, Revenge of Sith, is it something like that? Because it's where he's with Ventress, isn't it?
Book with Ventress and somebody else, and they accused of blowing something up or something.
Yeah, that's because they're trying to kill Dooku, aren't they? They're trying to kill Dooku. Yeah. So that book's set before. Obviously,
Dark Disciple.
Yeah, so that book's set before Revenge at Sith. When does Dooku die? Yeah, Revenge at Sith, because they're trying to kill Dooku, and then obviously do it. So yeah, I don't know. But is he big enough to be on par with Luke Skywalker? Like Luke Skywalker's a big. It's a big one to.
It makes sense. Who's as big? The only people as big as Luke Skywalker are Princess Leia, Darth Vader, and Han Solo. None of them are showing up.
Yeah, none of them. Not a chance. Chewie, maybe.
Yeah.
Lando. A young,
maybe.
Childish Gambino Lando.
That'd be big, but still not as big as Luke.
I don't think it's as big as Luke, though. Yeah, like you say, the only people that are as big, and I don't even think they're as big. The only one that is on par with Luke is Vader.
Yeah.
I don't even think Leia and Han Solo are as big as Luke.
No,
personally.
No. There is sort of there's as many people whose favourite characters are those characters, but they're not as popular. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for it though. If there's a nice little ending coming, I'll just make sure we record my reaction for that. You get to see me freak out a little bit. You do what you will. To be fair, I've still got the Mando season 2 one where Luke comes off and I fucking lose my shit, brother. As soon as I see the fucking green, I'm like, fuck off. Fuck off. Because the X-Wing gives me a little inkling. I'm like, nah.
I love the Dark Forces games. And when I saw the Dark Troopers, I was just like, oh, this is fucking brilliant. Like, and then Luke showed up. I was still excited, but I was like, Dark Troopers sick though.
And then he's just fucking. So that's the beauty of it. Like, even in season 1, when the Dark Troopers are wearing, because obviously in season 2 they're like, oh, we got rid of the only downfall of the Dark Troopers, and that's the people inside it.
Yeah.
But the Dark Troopers in season 1, where they're at the end, mate, they look fucking heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then when the Flame Trooper comes in, he's got the red on his fucking mate. I'm like, bro, you've nailed this. You nailed it.
I know it is, boys. I know who's showing up at the end of this season that's as big as anyone ever.
Jar Jar Binks.
Kyle Katarn. He's showing up.
Ooh, nay.
Just for the record, that's never fucking happening.
No, but it'd be sick if it would.
Oh yeah.
It'd be. It's fives. It's fives. Anyway, don't worry. It's fives. Watch it be someone like Wrecker. It's Omega. Brilliant. We all know I've got a hatred for Omega. I really fucking despise her. I hate her. I do. Quickly then, have we? I don't know if you're up to date. Have you watched Bad Batch, Ant?
I'm like 2 episodes off, but I'll catch up on it soon.
Yeah, just a quick one. We'll not spoil it for Ant then.
No, you can do. I don't want to.
I'll be honest with you. It weren't anything special again.
Yeah.
The only thing I must admit I did like about it, it's sort of tied into actually the Purgle thing, is we got a Zillow Beast.
Yeah, the Zillow Beast back to Clone Wars was cool, but
I was like, that is absolutely amazing. We got a baby Zillow Beast, and we want you could see it grow, and it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was cool how they tied it into Clone Wars, which were cool. Yeah. But other than that,
Zillow Beast is literally in because Filoni loves Godzilla, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Literally, it's literally all it is.
I kind of love that he sat there one day and went, guys, I'm putting Godzilla in it. And they're like, oh, Dave. He's like, no, come on.
No, we're having Godzilla. King Kong's in next week's, mate.
Yeah.
It's just slowly turning into monster.
Oh, well, the King Kong thing, you had the Rancor in Boba Fett.
Yeah, to be fair, King Kong, he even does the King Kong swipe, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. I forgot about that. So, yeah, fair enough. Well done, Dave Filoni.
Yeah. Just in regards to Bad Batch, I think that show really suffers from the fact that first special that they did that was like an hour long was
so
Clone
good.
Wars Season 7 end of sort of level quality, where I was like, oh my god, if this is what this show is going to be, that's fucking amazing. But then you very quickly just sort of realise that that's as important and as good as it got was the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I agree.
Yeah.
You had Order 66, you had like young Kanan showing up, you had all that stuff, and then it kind of, where else did we go that was as good as that after that?
I don't get how you go, right, we have young Kanan in this show, yeah? What shall we do with him? Oh, we'll just send him off and do fuck all with him, and we'll bring Omega in, and she's the youngster. Not the Bad Batch are the ones that trained and helped Kanan become who he is today. That then, for me, because I love Kanan so much, makes me love them even more. But no, I get Omega. That I couldn't give 2 flying fucks about. Mental.
Yeah. I think people have softened on her a bit in this season, haven't they? But people were really annoyed by her in the first season.
I still hate her. She's useless. And what weapon shall we get? A slingshot? What the fuck? How shit can you get? Do we have things called light? We could have seen fucking Kanan whipping his lightsaber out, but no, we got Omega with a slingshot. Or is it Goonies? No, it's fucking Star Wars. Fuck off. I hate her.
A weapon that used to piss me off was Ezra's fucking gun
lightsaber. That wound me up as well. It's shit. Fuck off. Why would you
grow up?
Just use a lightsaber. You
grow up.
Well, this has turned into a proper slagging match, hasn't it? But yeah, it's true though, because it's like, what you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's the same aspect as, when they made the lightsabers right skinny in Rebels.
Yeah, that was.
What are you doing?
They do some odd stuff with the art style, don't they? I quite like in the Bad Batch. It kind of looks like everyone's carved out of wood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I used to hate the animation for that, but now I actually really like it.
Do you know what's rough going back and watching that early Clone Wars animation?
I rewatched it, mate, a couple of months back.
I'm still going through it. I'm still on season 2.
But you see the quality.
Beautiful as well.
You see it get better, and I think that's the beauty of the animation. Is like you see you can clearly see the views some different or gradually come out of a different software to go into another one. You can see it, and it makes it look. The transition even better. Yeah, it just looks really good. I enjoy it.
There's a point halfway through season 3, you can tell they changed it from 9 in the morning till 9 at night as well, because the episodes get a lot sort of more heavy and adult focused.
The scene in the final season of Clone Wars where Ahsoka's fighting Darth Maul and the windows shatter behind him, and it mate, fucking absolutely insane. Incredible. And in fact, I think I've got it as a screenshot on my TV. The fucking where Vader picks up fucking Ahsoka's lightsaber, in the snow and the fucking background scene. It's just so fucking pretty. I like. But then to look at that and go back to season 1 of Clone Wars, you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that show grew up, didn't it?
Yeah. Right, so a quick overall, you excited for the rest of it? Obviously, we're excited for it. It's Star Wars, it's Mando, but...
I'm not watching it.
You're not watching it, refusing. That's it, done. Star Wars, fucking finished, done.
I'm throwing my toys in bin.
all that money.
I really liked. I get why some people aren't as bothered about it, but I really like that first episode because I don't need every single thing to be sort of laid out for me that's going to be coming up. I quite like that we just had a fun return with. We got creatures, we got a space battle, we got a big, like I said, space crocodile turtle thing that I like the fight with, and then we got a bit of context to other seasons and what's going to be coming. So I really liked it.
In a nutshell, yeah, I'm same. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to Wednesday.
I can't wait for Wednesday.
So obviously Ant's on this episode. He's not going to be on every episode, which is a shame because he's fucking boss. But I'm going to get him back on for the season finale as well. So, but obviously you're more than welcome to come on whenever you want, especially. But I want you on for the season finale because I want to know your overall views. What I am going to do for this though, because obviously this is going to come out weekly, but it's going to mostly focus on Mando while Mando's running. It makes sense, but I'm going to try and get someone that's not a massive Star Wars fan in like the middle of the season that's watching it to come on and see their experience with it, because we can be a bit biased, you know what I mean, as Star Wars fans. We can be a bit like, well, it's Star Wars, so we like it. Do you know what I mean?
Give it a right grilling though for the last 5. So
but we get didn't we give Bad Batch a grilling? and Omega in general, fuck Omega. But so I'm gonna try and get someone in like mid-season to just give an overall view on it, see what they think from an outside perspective. But other than that, Ant, where can everyone find you?
And shot first on anything, everything, and just I'm working on something. I might be doing something at some point soon, but when he does do that, obviously we'll link him in everywhere we can link him, and you'll be able to find him through everywhere. So don't worry. So Ant shot first on Twitter. I'm at iBellow on everything, same as Ant. Everything is iBellow. Adam is the only one with different tags for everything. So.
Because I'm awkward, git. I'm at SithBro _Gan on Twitter, and then on Twitch I am Jedi Master Brogan.
He's a Jedi and a Sith. What do you think about that, Ant? Sith on one and a Jedi. Make your fucking mind up, brother.
I like the concept. I like the concept of being a Sith, but I like so much about the Jedi and the Rebellion, like the X-wings and their starships are far superior to compared.
He just wants his cake and eat it, is what he's saying.
Yeah, in other words.
Adam, did you just say the X-wings far superior to the TIE Fighter?
I mean, he's right.
They are.
He's right.
Do you not remember when Poe got in that TIE Fighter and he was like, "Oh shit, this fucking moves."
Yeah, to be fair, he is right.
He's right. He's the guy to trust. He's the best pilot around, isn't he?
To be fair, he is right in what he's saying. I didn't even think of it like that.
The pro X-wing flyer in Poe Dameron is like, shit, this is a Porsche. Like, this is cool.
All right then, X-wings look cooler.
Oh yeah, I love them both. Don't get me wrong. I'm only joking.
But yeah, right. Okay, we're gonna end it there. That's a long one. Thank you all for watching and listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, all that jazz. Thank you to Ant for coming on and speaking Star Wars. Much appreciated, mate. And we will see you on the next one. May the Force be with you.